Grew up in Detroit with you, and we were stuck there, and things filtered through, and we got turned on to music, and obviously Motown was a huge, huge influence, and then there were kids getting into bands because of the Beatles and the Dave Clark Five, so it was a chance for people to learn how to play guitars and get 4 or 5 guys or people together and start making noise in basements and garages, and I was one of a million kids who wanted to do that. In Detroit, there were starting some groups showing up that were really interesting. There's white kids playing like black kids, and Mitch Ryder and the Detroit Wheels, Billy Lee and the Rivieras, and Iggy Pop and Ted Nugent. So a lot of music was beginning to happen in Detroit. So I got with guys that I grew up who were interested in music, and we started bands, and one was the Cowardly Thangs, and I played guitar, and we got to get pretty good at it and play in the clubs around Detroit, all the new clubs that were being developed, and obviously we're in Detroit with John Lee Hooker living there at the time, so you could hear him play his style of blues, which obviously Canned Heat kind of copped, and you could go see John Lee Hooker and get the real idea of how that's played. And being from Detroit, you could stick your thumb out and take I-94 and be in Chicago and see Muddy Waters and Howlin' Wolf and Buddy Guy. So I was young, but somehow it was easy to get around, and people were not so critical, and so you could sneak away and kind of show up on Monday or Sunday night and have had an adventure musically. So in the late 60s, everything was happening with people upset about lots of things and civil rights and the beginning of the Vietnam War, and music was reflecting all that, and obviously by 67, things just totally broke loose in terms of the beginning of the Summer of Love out in San Francisco, and it was certainly time to get out of Detroit.